We'll get started shortly. Just wanted to give time for folks that are still strolling in, and we're still waiting on one person that we actually want to introduce to get here as well. So please just bear with us, and we'll get started as quickly as possible. And the goal is to get you out of here within an hour and 15 tops, so you can go meet those folks that are in there too. So we'll do our best to get you out of here within time. Thank you. Look at that. Sorry. Come on up here. Come on up. Come on up here. You're perfect timing. Like, I need a couple of water. You want? AJ, you want some water? I know. I'll do this. He needs to be up here. Where is he? So, but and then just kind of happen his way. No, you. We got a seat up here for you, brother. Hello, everybody. Can you all hear me okay? Hello. How are we? I love the energy, by the way. I'm a high energy person, so you're feeding me right now. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. I didn't know what to expect. We were just saying we didn't know exactly what to expect, but this shows a level of commitment that we are grateful for, so give yourselves a round of applause. My name is Arma, and we're fortunate to be here in year 4. And honestly, we almost quit many times before we got even to year 2. This is the group of folks that helped us get started here. I'm just going to talk through a little bit of stuff until we get more people in here. And my goal right now is to try to stall a little bit. So please bear with me. This is intentional. But in order to stall, let me go ahead and start telling our story, or just at least get us started. Pastor Pete, is there anything that I can use for the clicker or anything for the slides? Or if I can just say, next slide, please, would that work? Thank you. So that man right there is the awesome pastor of this church who's allowing for us to use these facilities. And let's give him a round of applause. So we don't have a home yet. We've gotten here. We were built and formed literally in the heart of COVID. June 2021 is when we set out, started. And it's been a lot. It's been very, very challenging, but also very rewarding in many different ways. And it couldn't have happened without a lot of dedicated people, including parents like you all, showing up on a Sunday evening during the rain, not knowing if you just got off a plane earlier today to get here, but making sure you're here. So we're thankful for that. And one of the things that we love to make sure we make you all aware of is that our intent was to definitely start something here that was very competitive from a sports and a soccer standpoint. But for us, it was about more than that. Because if you just want soccer, there are many other places that you can get soccer. Or if you want sports in general, there are many places you can get sports. But there are very few places that actually use sports and actually take sports and use it for the purpose of development so that your children are in better places, in better positions, and are able to make decisions, take actions that are not only accountable for them, but it also sets them up to do whatever they want to do in their life. That's what our main goal is. So I'm saying right now, if you're only here for soccer, you're going to not like it very much, right? Even though the soccer part is great and it's getting better, because we're doing everything in our power to make sure we're putting pieces in place, bringing in the types of people that will help us raise the level of everything that we're doing. But ultimately, what we care about is creating great humans that are actually contributing to their environments and wherever they go, and they're leaders in those places wherever they go. That's our main mission, and that's what we're really sticking to, and we want to make sure everybody is bought in on that. So can we all agree to be bought in on that? Thank you. So, recap. We have been around for about 4 years, as I shared. The Carolina Champions League is the league that we play in. True story, Mike and I literally just hopped off a plane because we were with our commissioner for the Champions League, along with other directors, because we were all learning and growing and sharing best practices and trying to improve on the things that we do for the purposes of your children, but also for us, for the purposes of you as a family. So these are things that we take very seriously. 16 years we've been around, Carolina Champions League. Last season, or last year, overall, we played over 250 games across 16 teams. So we had 16 teams last year. We're going into this year with 22 teams. Hold that. We didn't want 22 teams. We really didn't want 22 teams. We thought that we would hit 19 and cut it off there. We wanted to and preferred to. But because of the demand, we didn't want to cut so many children who actually wanted the opportunity. So that's why we said, okay, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure we can field these 22 teams to the best of our ability. And I'm sharing this with you because what that means is we need your grace. That's why I'm telling you all this. We need your grace because this is definitely new for us. We're coming off of 16 teams. We made it. Woo-woo. Right? But now we're at 22 teams, which is a whole different ballgame because we've never been here before. It comes with a lot. It comes with a lot more time needed. It comes with a lot of different things and growing pains and you name it. And we're not complaining about it. We're just asking that you're graceful with us because we're going to do everything in our power to continue to make sure things are what they need to be for your children first and also you as a family. And that's one thing we're committed to. Next up, actually go back to the previous slide, please. Let me touch on a couple other things. So real quickly, the Carolina Ascent Clinic is something that we did last year. The Carolina Ascent are the professional women's team here in Charlotte that's fairly new. This is their first, going into their second year now. So we're intentional about establishing a relationship with them to make sure that our girls program improves and is connected there, and these young females and women are able to connect with actual players who are doing what they ultimately might want to end up doing at some point. But making sure these are things that are real. AJ is here. He's a retired professional player, 14 years MLS star, Defensive Player of the Year 3 times, won 3 championships with the LA Galaxy, played with David Beckham. I keep going on. But my favorite part of all of that, he was the Air Humanitarian of the Year award winner in 2014. That's my favorite part about him because that tells you about his heart and his level of care and interest in actually doing not only what's right, but going above and beyond and taking care of people. So he chose to join us recently, a year ago now. It's been a little over a year, close to a year now. But he's going to introduce himself too. We're going to introduce ourselves. But these are the caliber of people that we're bringing in. Mr. Alvaro Anzola. He's also new to our club coming in this year. He's a former professional himself as a goalkeeper. National teams. Not only did he play on national teams, he also coached national teams, youth national teams, U17, you name it, across the world. That's the caliber of people who are saying, hey, we like what you're doing, we see what you're doing, and we want to also contribute to help improve and grow what it is that you're doing. So he's going to be a part of what we're doing moving forward. And I could keep going on and on. Mark Schaefer here, he doesn't like to get the attention, but I'm going to give it to him because he deserves it. This gentleman used to run and operate, or actually lead, one of the neighboring programs around here. And I'm not going to mention the name just because. He was with Waxhaw. So if you have... right? So if you're familiar with the Waxhaw Women's Program, the Academy program out there, he's responsible for it. He's who helped not only establish it, but he's helped develop a lot of young ladies. He's trained and developed a lot of young women who have now gone on to play college football, or college soccer, sorry. Too many sports in my head. He's trained and developed a lot of great athletes, but also great people. Our primary focus in terms of who we bring into this club, first and foremost, is character. Because what we believe is that if we associate with each other in a respectful manner and behave in ways that are actually of dignity and respect with each other, our kids are going to see that. And that's what we want them to see. Because as much as we can tell them many, many different things, they're going to do what we do, folks. And I'm telling you this because that's my background. That's what I do. I'm a behavioral scientist, and that means a lot of different things, but I just leave it right there. I work with youth. I develop youth. I've been doing that for 20 plus years now, and I'm very good at it. I've just now chosen to use sports as part of that. But there are many other things that we're putting in place within this club to help give your children way more experiences that prepares them and gives them the confidence to do pretty much whatever they want to do with their lives, because I truly believe that's possible for anybody. But we're going to use this as part of the tool to be able to get there. We've sent 3 players to ID camps. We've won external league tournament championships, many major championships over the years. We've had a successful launch to our pre-academy program, which is now serving 4 to 8-year-olds. And we continue to serve Lancaster County. How we do that is many ways. Soon you'll hear about our Land United Foundation. That's a 501c3 organization focused on education and many other things. Allows us to even scholarship players so that players are able to play the game and not have to not play because of cost. Because that's also important. We recognize the need for all these things. Next slide, please. And then the last thing I'll say off of that slide is that our dedication to service has allowed for us to be recognized this past year as the Volunteer Group of the Year by Lancaster County as a whole. So please give a round of applause for that. That's over 250 hours in 2024 last year that this club and members of this club dedicated to doing things within this community and throughout this county. So that says a lot. We, about us, then and now. So that picture you see, that's how we started. Literally, that's Walnut Creek. Of course, that's Mike. That gentleman that's tall and handsome on the far right over there, his name is Sven Kulovich. He and his partner, who's also one of our directors and our director of coaching, Steven, he's currently stuck at the airport. Surprise, surprise. His flight just decided not to show up. But anyway, so Steven is here as our director of coaching. That's his partner. They literally helped us build this thing. What you see there is a picture for when we first started. We didn't even have any teams at that point. We started out with a 10-day clinic, literally a 10-day clinic during the summer, at the end of the summer, when kids got out of school. And the next thing you know, parents were asking us if we do a actual soccer club. This lady actually emailed us and asked us if we would do a soccer club. At the time, we had no interest in that. But based on how things went with that, we just decided, and we kept getting more questions, we just felt maybe there's a need for this. And as much as we didn't want to do it, it felt like a calling almost. And it felt like a responsibility almost. And we decided to have a dinner. Mike, his family, my wife, our family, literally we sat at the dinner table and we said, this might be something we need to go ahead and move forward in doing. And I kid you not, they were crazy enough to say yes, and they've been here every step of the way since then. And we've been fortunate enough to have even people like Brandon Smith. He got our girls program started, folks. Brandon's family is responsible for soccer in Indian Land as I believe it. His dad actually started the high school program here in Indian Land High School. But he's been around the area for a while. He's chosen to commit his time and his energy. His daughter also plays. All of our children play, by the way. AJs aren't old enough yet, but they're almost on their way. Daughters are in the pre-academy program now, so they're also a part of the playing children within the club and so on and so forth. So ultimately, we did this because our children needed it and we wanted the best experiences for them. So as much as your child is here, our children are here too. So whatever we're doing, our children get impacted too. So please don't ever look at it as, hey, this is anything against your child or for your child. It's for all of us. So if anything is not going right, we all feel that pain too. And what we're committed to doing is making sure that we're doing everything in our power to improve, and we just ask for grace in that process because it's not easy. Fair enough? 4 years of operation, 22 teams now. We're now over 200 players. We're over 250 actually, 260 even. And we have over 200 families. You can see each other. And then there are other folks who are watching. I can't see them, but they're watching us. And there's many more of us now. And we are doing our best to make sure we keep that going. Next slide, please, sir. So our introductions, I've been doing it as I've been speaking on purpose. Mark Schaefer. His title is the utility knife. Ask me why. Because this man is phenomenally great at everything. He's a great trainer. He's a former president of a club, so for me, he's a mentor in that capacity because I'm learning how to improve and get better at what I do here. So I'm learning from him in that capacity. He's helping us set up and establish our academy program to its fullness and many, many other things. He's going to be training and doing so many different things, hence why his name is, or his title, unofficially, is the utility knife. Does that make sense now? All right. And can you just get up here and introduce yourself, please? I don't want to steal his thunder. Mark Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen.
So as Arma said, my name is Mark Schaefer. I'm actually a father of four. So I have a 20-year-old son, 18-year-old daughter. Both will be attending or are attending App State. I have a 15-year-old son and a soon-to-be 13-year-old daughter going on 20 in 3 days. So just a little bit of a personal thing. I was born and raised in Northeast Baltimore, which is a tough part of town. I was raised by a single mom, which also made things tough. So I had one outlet growing up, and that was the game of soccer. And so instead of going down some paths that some of my friends went down, coaches in the soccer world and the baseball world kind of took me under their wing, drove me to practice, made sure I had cleats and equipment to play, and kind of just picked me up and made sure that they were available for me, whether it was about baseball or soccer or I was going through a rough time. And so because of those men, they put me on a trajectory to kind of lead me here ultimately in front of you guys, because I don't know that I would be standing here if it wasn't for them. And so my freshman year in college, I dislocated my knee playing soccer, and that effectively ended my career playing, which is fine because it took me down a different path, which was coaching. So at 19 years old, I started coaching soccer, well before I had kids, before I had a wife, a girlfriend, or any of those things. And it just became a true passion for me because of a lot of reasons, right? I got to honor those guys that helped me along. And I found tremendous satisfaction in mentoring kids and kind of paying it forward and helping them potentially change their stars. And so that has kind of, every time I've tried to take a step back in the soccer world to kind of be with my kids, I meet someone like Arma. And so when he says it's kind of like a calling, I'm not ashamed about it. I feel like I have been kind of called to mentor kids and lead them and help them and guide them to be better people off of the field, but through the game of soccer. And so, yeah, I now do not coach a kid. She does not want to hear it from me. She still plays, and same thing with my younger son. He plays baseball, but I'm still attached to the game, just in general. So, like Arma said, I still train kids that do not play for me. They will call me out and seek me out and go, "Hey, Coach Mark, can you help me work through X, Y, and Z?" I've had kids call me after they've graduated college, can't find a job. "Can you help me work through X, Y, and Z?" I just saw a player and his one-year-old daughter this weekend, which made me feel extremely old. And so I value and hold those relationships very dear to my heart. And the hope is when they grow up, they can come back and go, "Hey," if they're writing a college paper or they're having a conversation with someone, that maybe they'll remember me of somebody that severely impacted them in a good way to kind of lead them to where they are today. But like Arma said, I have a variety of experience. I have held pretty much any kind of position you can hold within the soccer club community, from director's positions to vice president, president. Led the club through COVID, which was, while you guys were starting a club, I was getting called every name in the book during COVID because we were in survival mode like a lot of youth sports were. But we came out a lot stronger on the other side. I have game coached for the better. This is going to be my first year not game coaching in 27 years, which is weird to me because now everybody's getting going and I'm like, but I'm filling my time otherwise. So I am going to be doing a whole bunch of different things. Arma's been extremely gracious of allowing me to kind of fill in and do where time allows. We had a couple of great sessions a couple of weeks ago with the girls' camps. Fantastic turnout. It was ungodly hot, but they worked really hard. And I'm just really excited to kind of be a part of this in general because the vision here kind of aligns with what I do as a coach and what I've seen and how I work with players. And so I want to just come in and kind of help support these guys and young ladies and women coaches and whoever needs it, and just bring some consistency and some vertical education and some ideas that have worked well in the past just to help nurture the club and bring it up to speed. So super excited to be here. I love talking shop, so if anybody wants to talk soccer or anything in that nature, fire away. And yeah, just really excited to be here, so thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. Welcome. So we'll do a questions and answers portion towards the end. So if you have any questions and you don't want to forget it, just write it down. Also, feel free to take pictures of the screens if you want anything to jog your memory or to come back to and refresh your anything. We also have, so if you guys can just turn that mic on and just kind of speak and say hello and who you are, and that'd be great. Or you can come up here, actually. It's a little louder.
No, I'm fine here.
I'll stand here and wait.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Mike Fulkerson, one of the co-founders of the club with ARMA. My resume is not nearly as impressive, so we're not going to spend any time going through that. I currently coach the U15 boys with my son is on the team. What else? I'm always around, so if you have questions, please feel free to ask. Move this thing on.
Yeah. I'm Brandon Smith, as Arma said. My dad, he coaches for the high school, so we started that program. I was one of the first, we were the first team as a JV team, graduated there in 2000. So we started the soccer program. He is still with them to this day. So I went on to play at USC Aiken, a Division II school down in South Carolina, and then right after I got involved in coaching. So I get it honest. Yeah, and I teamed up with these guys. We were on a rec field. We brought a girls team just out of recreation and created a pretty good team out there. So
Yeah.
most of them are still together to this day. So it's been an honor and just blessed to be a part of this.
My name is AJ De La Garza. I haven't been in your shoes yet because my children are not old enough to play club soccer, thankfully. But I have been in your kids' shoes. So I started playing soccer when I was 4. I played rec soccer. I played club soccer. I played on a really good club soccer team, went to college, played professionally, played on national teams. And when I retired, some of you are new, but when I retired, I knew what I didn't want to do, and that was be involved in youth soccer. And then, like Mark, I met Arma, and the vision and the mission is what drove me to come to this club. Because, like Mark, I grew up in a rough, I don't know how to say area, but I used to get off the school bus and walk the opposite direction of my house, right? So just to show like where I came from, like this was everything for me, soccer was. So yeah, that's all I have. I think it's also really good that we're all up here because you don't see us on a daily basis. You could walk right past us at the grocery store, right? So unfortunately, unless we're wearing Lane United gear, but I do think it's important that you just see our faces. So we are around. We're not at practice every single day at your club's practice, but we are around.
Thank you, AJ. So please give these folks a round of applause. We're assembling our very own Avengers. But they give a lot of time. They give a lot of energy. And they care a whole lot. And they're doing this not because they're getting paid, because they're really not getting paid at all. But they're here anyway. And for us, that's not going to be how it stays. But to show you that for us to get here into year 4, where really no one is getting paid, that speaks volumes, because this really is demanding. And each person up here has a full-time job, right? But somehow this was important enough to make happen, and we continue to pull in and are fortunate to get real quality people who want to be a part of this, which also includes you and your families. So thank you for being here. Coaches, if you're a coach for this club, can you please stand up? If you're already standing up, just say something, just wave or something. But please see these people, give them applause. Round of applause. They also give a lot of time, energy, and care, and everything else. And they help this thing be what it is today, because there's a lot going on here, and we're fortunate to have some really, really good people. Who am I missing? Coach Alvaro. He's a man of few words, but he's a very powerful man. And he's also a great, great man. And we're so fortunate to have him, because what we try to do is to really fill in the gaps with our challenges. Some people call it weaknesses. And we always knew that we needed very quality people handling very important things, and goalkeepers need somebody of quality to prepare them. But not only is he great as a goalkeeper and a trainer, he's one of the best human beings you're ever going to meet. So when you get a chance, shake his hand, because it's not every day we get to meet legends, and we're fortunate to be in the presence of legends in here, and he's one of them too. Of course, AJ's here. He's a championship winner too. But yeah, so we also have, what am I missing? Coaches, you've stood up. Steven's not here. So Steven, I told you, is stuck at the airport right now. If you're out there at practices, you'll see Steven. He's always busy. He's always doing something. He's multifaceted and multi-talented, not only in the area of training in soccer, but just in the different things that he does as a person as a whole. So you'll meet him at some point, and please feel free to say hello to him when you see him. And then we have our leadership team for our foundation. We have a couple of them here. Not all of them were able to make it, and one of them will also include, or will be included in the presentation as we get to the later part of the slide. But they're doing some really phenomenal work that has nothing to do with the game of soccer. Our foundation is the reason why we're actually fortunate to have a lot of stuff done on the educational side, even with our volunteer events, and so on and so forth. We'll get into that later, but they're also here, and we want to honor them, and please give them a round of applause as well. Next slide, please, sir. Next slide, please. Our club mission, I'm not going to read it to you, or maybe I will, because you probably have never seen it or heard it anywhere. But our mission here is to provide an excellent environment and experience for youth in our community while also developing life skills through the game of soccer using key values such as respect, discipline, leadership, healthy competition, all of these things as a guiding principle, right? As a guide in also achieving their successes, whatever that means to them, because success is different for everybody, folks. Don't force your kid to go play college or professional soccer. Did you all hear that? Don't force them into anything in general, period. I think that our jobs as parents is we're fortunate to have them come into this world, and our jobs is to really be the best we can for them to model in terms of behavior, and then expose them to as many different things as possible so they can decide and choose and move in the direction of where they're called to move in and do. That's our responsibilities as parents. Not to force them to do anything, or especially not the things that we didn't do ourselves when we were younger. Please keep that in mind, right? Because their lives are their lives. We shouldn't be forcing them to live our lives that we didn't get a chance to live. We still get the chance to live our lives now, because we're not dead yet. So it's never late to change and do what you want to do. It's the point. But in the meantime, let's prepare them to do what they want to do and what they need to do that we all can benefit from, because that's what we're all here for. Can we all agree to that, please? Yes? All right. Next slide, please. So our core values are simple. Our acronym, thanks to AJ, we have an acronym that speaks to our values now. As you can see it, leadership is at the top. That's highly important in everything. Accountability is also very important. And then it's the next play mentality, not just as it relates to soccer, but it's just life in general, because life will beat the crap out of you. Can anybody attest? So the next play is you getting up even after you've been knocked down and just get right back on the horse and keep going. What I call it is bobbing and weaving, right? And then discipline. Discipline is what's going to help us achieve whatever we want to achieve in life, above all else. And then the U is always going to be for unity, because we are united. And we believe that regardless of what the outcome and the circumstance is, we can always come to a common ground if we're willing to communicate and see each other and meet each other where we are. So can we agree to just stick to those things as a club, but then also live that out beyond the things that we do with this club? Yes? All right. So as you can see, that screenshot right there is an actual text message that we got from somebody within our schools here in Indian Land. Take the time to read it. Take a screenshot, actually. Take a picture of that and read that whole thing, because These are unsolicited things that we get from people within the schools, because our mission is to make sure your kids and our children are the best human beings everywhere they go. And when our school is telling us that what we're doing is actually making a difference, that's what we're here for, folks. That's what we're proud of. So please, capture this. Next slide, please. AJ, you ready, man?
We just have 2 slides here. So we have player expectations. We just want to speak on it. I don't think we've ever spoken on expectations for our players and for our parents as well. I obviously use my background and my playing career to kind of help these come to light. But obviously the first one we have is be on time for our players. We know some things are out of their control, but also what I see a lot of our players, when they are late, now they're walking to the field and they still don't have their shoes on, right? They know if they're 10 minutes late, they should have their, I used to put my shoes on in the car and I would haul tail to the field, okay? So that's just my mentality. Be ready to work every single day. Be coachable, right? The way we all learn is to just be coachable. If a coach who is an adult, right, is speaking to us as players, we want to take that in and then try to implement that. So I know we don't have many kids in here, but just for our parents to understand this is what we are expecting out of our players. Understanding that effort is much more important than talent. This quote was on my wall at one of the clubs I was at, so it says, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Go. Really simple. I don't think I was the most talented player growing up, but I can tell you nobody outworked me, and I think that's why I got to the level that I got to.
Were you ever cut before?
I was cut. I remember crying to my parents, and that was the last time I ever got cut. So I didn't let it happen again, honestly. So respect, I think, is a big one. I say at one of my facility, but also the camps that I run, and the first person that our players have to respect is themselves. So the self-doubt, okay, the self-confidence has to come within them, and then the other things follow, right? I respect their coaches, their teammates, and the opponents as well. And then the last one, the players should take responsibility and accountability for their development. Whether you want to go play professional soccer or not, right? I see a lot of players, though, at the park from Land United, they have cones. They take balls out to the park. They're out there beyond just their team training, right? They're out there at your home, I'm sure, kicking balls off the walls. That was me. I was hitting balls off a little brick wall growing up, and I was by myself. Again, they have to take responsibility for their own development. And we'll go to the next slide because we have a lot of parents in here. And I don't think we've ever mentioned this as well. I think we usually talk about CCL rules, but I think these are important for us to all be on the same page. Because unfortunately, I have had someone from CCL come up to me and they have had a grievance about our parent behavior on the sidelines. Simple as that, right? As a player, you don't know what you can fix unless you know what you can fix. So them coming to me was like, okay, this is something we as a club need to address, okay? Us as coaches, parents, players, we all can do better. So obviously the top one is the sideline behavior, okay? That's the most important one. We all are role models to our players. If we're out here yelling at coaches and yelling at kids and yelling at the officials, our kids are gonna do the same thing. Trust the process and your coaches. I think that's the most important thing as well. They were put in this role to help your children. So please let them try and help your children. The development over winning, I think, is a big one for me. It's cool if we win games 7-0 and we win all the trophies, but if the kids are not playing the game in the proper way and learning our core values in the proper way, all those little youth soccer trophies mean nothing down the road. So that's a big one for me. And then just some do's and don'ts. Obviously, we can read the do's. We all know those ones, but I think the don'ts are ones that we should touch on. So that top one, don't coach from the sideline. So I went to a different game, 2 different clubs just to watch, okay? Clearly, I could tell one of the team's tactics was to not press the other team because they were going to get picked apart. On the sideline, parents of that team are yelling at their players to go and press. In return, a player yells back at the parent, we're not supposed to go press, okay? So unless you know the tactics, please don't tell your players what to do, right? Because we also want them to make decisions on their own. That's how they learn, that's how they develop, okay? But also, we could be telling them something different than our coaches told them, and who are they gonna listen to most? Probably their parents, okay? And then their coach is gonna be like, why did you do that? And then they're gonna say, well, my parent told me to do it as well. So all of those things, don't criticize the referees. We already have very few of them in all of youth sports. So the ones that we do have, we wanna keep, and also help develop the younger. If you are on a younger team, right, you're gonna have some teenagers that are just for the first time trying to figure this out. So just be patient with them, please. Don't compare your child to others. We all know that. Post-game talks, don't focus solely on wins and losses. Again, I know that's a big one. We all want to win. My whole career, I would say I wanted to win, right? But I wanted to do it in the right way as well. And then don't forget, this whole experience is for your kid to enjoy and get something out of it at the end of the day. Whether they want to play pro soccer or not, like Arma said, they're going to go pro at something else, whether it be the workplace. I know I run a lot of camps, and I'm like, how many here want to go play pro soccer? And only a few of them raise their hands. So, yeah, we're trying to help them develop in other ways. So, yeah, anything on here, players or coach expectations?
I've been told that the people online can't hear us unless we get up on the microphone. So two things I want to add. We will be implementing a 24-hour quiet period after games. So don't come accost your coach right after the game. We will have repercussions as far as, and including removing your player from the team. So please, cool off. If it's still bothering you the next day, reach out to your coach, talk through it. If you don't get satisfaction talking to your coach, come to one of us directors and we'll work through it. So the other important thing is not to talk to the CCL employees from Neil on down. So the people sitting under the tents, under the CCL tent that look like they're doing nothing, they probably are doing nothing. But don't bring your grievances to them, because what they do is turn around and tell Neil that they've been talked to, and we get a call and we get a fine as a club, and it's just not worth it. They won't do anything to help correct your grievance. So come back to us. We can at least try to address that. So, question? We'll save it for the end.
Next slide, please. So schedules. Schedules are now being added to your calendars for your teams. They were finalized last week, so you should, if you haven't already seen it, you should start seeing the games and everything added to your schedules. And keep this in mind, there's going to be a lot of games, and the season is going to end up feeling long. Let me say that, right? And all we ask is that we just all do our best. Because at the end of the day, it's not always going to go exactly how we want all of it to go, right? If you are new to the club, I like to tell new families this. Get used to the losses. Expect the losses. The less you fight it, the better it gets. And I'm not saying you get better at accepting being a loser. That's not what I'm saying here. The losses turn into lessons, right? And we have teams that can demonstrate this year in, year out, season in, season out, where they might have been terrible one season, but if you trust the process, they've improved, and they keep improving. And that's what we're here for, right? You're going to take losses in life in order to get better at anything. We're supposed to. It's a part of the learning process. So let's just trust that process, right? Appropriate attire for games. We have our kits and our attires. For those of you that have not been able to order it yet, please order your kits. This is our last year using these kits, potentially, and we might get into new kits next year, but as of this year, we're still using the same kits that we've been using. So we're going to continue with that. So if you have any challenges or anything, just let us know, and we'll be able to help there as best we can. Weekly training times. your coaches are setting these things up, so please connect with your coaches, communicate with your coaches as far as weekly trainings and all those things. If changes happen, please just work with us. Because here's the thing. We don't own the fields. We're working towards that, but we don't own any fields in Indian Land right now, or in the county as a whole, which means that we're on other people's time, and that's the county. So we are literally at their mercy. It used to be a lot worse, though, when we first showed up, but it's gotten better, and we're working to make sure we're improving things, including working towards our own fields in the very near future as well, which we'll speak on in a little bit. So please bear with us as it relates to location, training times, and all these things. Tournaments are decided by the teams, right? So your coaches will come to you as parents and say, hey, we've identified this tournament, and we think there'll be a good one for the team. You all have to buy in. You all have to agree. If you agree, then you get registered for it, and you all go on to these tournaments. And that's how our culture operates for now. It may not necessarily stay that way, but currently that's how it stays. And then CCL matches, Saturdays and Sundays. August 23rd is our first game weekend. It's going to be hot in every way possible, right? I'm sure a lot of you are already excited to get out there and play the games, and those days are coming. So stay ready. Travel. These games are going to be at different fields. Most of them are going to be at the Matthews Sportsplex. Others will be at Field Day. We are even going to go into Gastonia and Shelby at Poston Park and what's the other one called? Hanna Park. Yeah. So just pay attention to the locations on your schedules, because more than likely, if it changes, we'll do our best to make sure we update it as quickly as possible, but sometimes it might be fluid. So just keep that in mind as well. Attendance and commitment, I don't think we're going to have a problem with that, because you guys are here on a Sunday evening at 6 o'clock, and you're smiling, right? So I don't think we're going to have a problem with commitment and attendance. Team schedules, everything is happening in SportsBase. So as I said, please just look through SportsBase or check SportsBase for everything, or just message your coaches, and everything will be right there for you. Next slide, please, sir. There's SportsBase. It's all new for us. So please be patient with us as we learn and master and understand this technology and this tool. But for us so far, in my opinion, it's one of the best things that has happened for us so far. It's allowing us to do a lot more than we did before. And it's allowing for us to streamline our communication process in one area, our registration process and the whole 9 yards and everything. Pretty much everything you register for moving forward will come through SportsBase. So it'll make everything easier for you. And you'll see it in a very accessible way and be able to apply for it in an accessible way. So how we communicate SportsBase, who to contact, it depends on the issue, obviously, right? But just let us know what the issue is, and we'll make sure we point you to the right direction. When to contact, you heard Mark talk about the 24-hour rule. Please take that very seriously. Emotions get the best of us, and more than likely it's going to get you in trouble anyway if you act on your emotion in the moment. I tell people when they make me mad, don't talk to me for 2 weeks, because I need time. You're not the problem. I'm the problem. Give me time. So give me 2 weeks to work out my anger issues, right? So all we ask, though, is 24 hours. Just calm down before you approach anybody so there are no fights. Can we all agree to that? All right. And do not contact coaches, as you heard, immediately after the game. Refrain from approaching CCL officials. How can we communicate? However you choose. You can talk to us in person. You can email us. If you want my number, I'll give it to you. That's what this is about, right? Or any of us for that matter. But all we ask is that you also bear with us. If we don't get right back to you, it doesn't mean we don't care or we won't respond. It just means that we're trying to handle the other things that came before yours. So just please bear with us, and we promise to get back to you as quickly as we can. So also, Mike shared this, failure to follow these rules could lead to disciplinary actions and up to expulsion, not because we want to expel you or not because we want to get rid of you. Everything we're doing is through U.S. Club Soccer. They have their regulations, their requirements, their rules, their policies, and we have to follow every single bit of it. So if you feel that we're attacking you, it's not us attacking you, it's us having to follow the rules and the procedures that are set forth by U.S. Club Soccer and the Champions League. Is that fair enough? Next slide, please. Our seasonal goals. I need some help on this one. Or we can tag team on this one. So, community outreach and community service events. Very important to this club. It's a part of our ethos. This is our culture for who we are. And we ask that you also get involved with that, because here's the secret. I can help any single one of your kids do whatever they want to do with their life. That's a fact. My background is I'm a former recruiter, college and corporate recruiter. I also used to teach high school business. You see these young people that are standing here? Raise your hand if you had me as a teacher before. Kylia, hello. David, where's Mitchell? Well, these are former students of mine who actually came back to me and said, hey, we think you're doing some pretty cool things and we want to get involved. And here they are. And they're choosing to get involved. And they're doing some pretty remarkable things that your kids are going to benefit from. But we're going to introduce a lot of that in a little bit. And when you go out there and you start interacting and asking questions over there, they'll tell you all about the things that they're doing to help you set your children up and our children up in ways that will be beneficial to them based on lessons they're learning and things they're experiencing as they're maturing into becoming adults. Isn't that wonderful? So, community service, outreach events, please get involved. We have sign-ups out there for different things that we have coming up, so please definitely get involved as best you can, or where you fit in, where you feel more comfortable. Our goal is to grow and improve our girls program. Personally and selfishly, I have a daughter. I think she has a lot of potential, and I'm actually about to dedicate a lot of my energy into our girls' side, personally, on purpose, because our boys' side is humming right now. We have about 2 teams at every level for boys right now, with the exception of our oldest boys' teams. So things are moving in that direction in the best way possible. Our girls' side, though, deserves a lot of tender love and care, and we about to give it to them. Which is why we're bringing people like Mark in. Brandon's already been here holding the fort, and other folks that we're bringing in to make sure that we help and do everything in our power to improve everything about our girls program, including solidifying our relationships with the professional women's team, having them come over on our turf, continue to do clinics, and us even go to their games and us go to their turf and do things with them as well. Because all of that matters, right? Increase the development and competitiveness of the girls program is definitely important. And then our partnership, as I said, with the Ascent. We also would like to raise funds. We've got big goals. We've got bigger dreams. And we know that you can help us get there. Not only do we want to have our own facilities that are outdoors, fields-wise, we also want our own indoor facility. But before we even get there, thank you to Pleasant Hill Church for having us use your awesome facility here for us to now do even more important and unique things that we want to do within this community. So we can't thank them enough, because this is the beginning of something very special and more things that we can offer all of our children and all of us as a community to make sure we're always adding to the different things that we're doing here in Indiana and beyond. Our pre-academy, we want to continue it. We had a successful start in this past spring, and that's something that we want to make sure it's permanent and a staple of what we're doing, to start early in terms of how we're developing and preparing the different young players who want to get into the game and so on and so forth. So we will continue to move forward with that the best we can, and we always are improving our coaching and our training and everything else. We're bringing in some real quality folks, coaches and trainers, and you'll see that continue to change. Anybody been here since we started or close to when we started? Please raise your hand. Can you honestly say that we're doing everything in our power to make things the best that we can? Can you give us a thumbs up if we are? Yes, because we're trying very hard, and we know that it is important to do that. So thank you all for that. And please give us feedback, right? Everything we're doing, we're asking for feedback, because we don't expect that we know everything and have figured everything out. We're not perfect, and quite frankly, we're not pursuing perfection here. I don't personally believe in perfect. You want to know why? Because it's only in your head. Your definition of perfect is only in your head, which means that it might be crappy to someone else, right? But what we can pursue is excellence. So even though we're not pursuing perfection, we're pursuing excellence here because we can always improve at everything. And that's the behavior and the mentality that we want to make sure our children are absorbing and taking on. Because this is going to be about the mindset, folks. Life will beat them up because it's already beat you up before you got here, right? The key is that they have the mentality to persist and to endure whatever comes their way to get to where they want to go to, because it's not going to come easy. Hence why they're going to lose, and you should let them lose. But then also talk to them about the lessons that they're learning in those losses, because that's the important part here, and that's what's going to help. So improving, coaching, and training, how are we going to do that? AJ here started an indoor facility called the Gold Den. He's even willing to give you a free trial to come in and try things out, right? That's one way we can help you improve in your development, right? We also have Coach Steven, who's not here right now, but he's leading a lot of our personal trainings, one-on-one trainings, group trainings, you name it. We have Jose here. Raise your hand, Jose. He trains my daughter. He's been training my daughter since he accepted the role as the coach for her team, right? But he's amazing. He's outstanding, actually. And we have others like him. We now have Coach Alvaro. Raise your hand, Coach Alvaro. If you have a goalie, whether it's your child or anybody in your family that is a goalie or wants to be a goalie, you need to go talk to that man, right? Make sure you meet him. And we're doing all these things on purpose because we want to improve everything. And then our main goal this year is to implement a club-wide identity and style of play. So you'll start seeing things change in terms of more consistency, where a child can be pulled from one team, fit into the other team, and be able to step in like nothing changed. So those are all the different things that we're working at. We have Mark here leading the charge there. AJ is going to be working with him on that, along with Steven. So you all are going to see some major improvements coming up. And then, what I'm excited to share with you, we're preparing for our first tournament in 2026. Woohoo! So the goal is in October. I'm currently waiting for confirmation. I'm doing my best. I gave them more than the whole year to give us a yes to use the fields. So now just pray that Lancaster County says, we're not going to get in your way, all right? But once we get the confirmation on dates, we'll start putting marketing information together and everything that needs to be pulled together. We're going to have a party in Lancaster County, right? Next slide, please, sir. Say it again. Mike, you got it.
I just want to be respectful and thoughtful about everybody's time here, so I'm going to burn through some of these slides. We're at 7 o'clock. What I would ask is that, you go back, if you have questions, look through it, and come to us. We have some upcoming events. Our pre-academy will kick off. That's for ages 4 to 8. We have goalkeeper training with Coach Alvaro. Reach out if that's something of interest. We will be having a Lancaster Chamber ribbon cutting. What date is that?
We're still setting all that.
Okay, so keep an eye on your email. Keep an eye on communication from us. And then LUFC futsal. So we have a nice facility here that we're able to use. So we will be implementing a futsal program internally as well. Next slide, please. Just keep it short.
Sorry. Land United Foundation. As you can see, take a picture too, because I'm going to speed through all of it. We have park work days. There's a sign-up sheet for the 16th. Next Saturday, you can sign up for. We have family day events where we literally just bring the community out. We have a festive time, just making sure we have food, drinks, music, just time to have fun and connect with each other. Tree planting, memorial service. We do stuff like this for people who actually do a lot for our club and give a lot to our club, who have people that might pass away and things like that, and we just make sure we honor folks as they need to be honored. Isaiah House donations, we partner with Isaiah 117 House. We've donated some monies, and we've played in their tournaments, different things like that we do. We created what's called, or not we, Mitchell created what's called Heart-Led Youth, along with a team of folks, including Kalia right there, David. And these are the young people who are saying, look, we need to be heart-led in the things that we do. We need to lead with heart, and we need to do good things for ourselves, our communities. And they've started that. They go into the schools. They've spoken to over 1,500 kids throughout the county as of February through the end of this past school year. They also have created a social media platform that now reaches over 30,000 people through their videos and different things. And then we've also sponsored all of the elementary schools in Indian Land financially. We sponsored the different PTOs throughout the middle school, intermediate school. We even sponsored their leadership programs, whether the ambassadors, their student council programs, and all the way through the high school, because these are the things that are important, right? And we're also in these schools because they need to see us, and they need to know that the opportunities are out there. Next slide, please, sir. New Nature Park is coming to Indian Land. Through the partnership with Indian Land Green, we're fortunate to be a part of this, to where not only are we working on preparing this park to be opened up soon for the entire community to use, but we will have our own field there. That's going to be our first field in Indian Land that we can actually say that we can use whenever we need to and want to. So these are things that are coming. Hopefully within the next year, we're able to start practicing by next fall. That's our goal, but things do happen and change, so don't hold us to that. But we're working diligently to make sure that we have ample soccer spaces to use for the foreseeable future. Next slide, please. How parents can help. We have sign-up sheets in the back for the different things that we need help with. Please always be present, right? Be positive. Stay positive, actually. And be patient, because we all need it. We also need to reinforce the values. Remember the whole land you thing? Let's keep reinforcing those values. Let's help, and we need help with team logistics. So we have team managers that we're preparing to bring on and different things. Some of you have already signed up for it by nature of you registering. And then our community service events and different committees that we also have signups for over there. So that's how you can help us. Next slide, please. MobileServe. Can you please come up here and tell people about MobileServe?
All right, MobileServe is an awesome app that my nephew actually created and gifted us a subscription for, he didn't specify how many years, I'm going to say indefinitely. He's one that's really into volunteerism, so he and a buddy created this app after college. And it's an awesome, awesome way to track your volunteer hours. Your child can have their own account where they would log any volunteer hours that they do. Our coaches can log their volunteer hours for everything that they do. And then this gives us an insight into like the impact to the community, an actual dollar amount. Because when we're going out and marketing and we're trying to get businesses and individuals to kind of buy into what we're doing here, not just the soccer part, because that's what a lot of people think of, but the foundation part. You know, if we can tell them, you know, we had X number of volunteer hours and that's worth, you know, this much money to the, you know, the community, that sends a powerful message and it helps us tell our story. Now, for your side, if any of you have kids that have already started like college applications or scholarship applications, it can be extremely overwhelming. And sometimes you look at your kid and you're like, you're kind of boring. What do you do all the time? So, you know, it's like one of those things that they had, oh, I did this many volunteer hours with Land United. And they can put that into their scholarship essay or their college application, and that really helps. So like my son is going to be a freshman, so I'm going to be hitting him hard, you know, this year. Like, you need to make sure that you're doing your volunteer hours, and you need to make sure that you're logging it. If you are interested, each person, so if you want a parent account, you can have a parent account and an account, separate account for each child. They do have to have a unique email address, so you can't use one email address for 3 different accounts. So each person needs their own email address. You can download the MobileServe app, you create an account, and then there's, where's the number, Arma? Is that on there?
Oh, it's on another.
Is it on the next
Just
one?
reach out and we'll
Okay.
send you the actual number that
Yep,
you need.
because it'll ask for a code, and you'll enter that in, and then you'll be plugged in. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give Elaine a round of applause. Next slide, please. So thank you all. This comes the end of our time together, but we also want to thank our sponsors, the Courtright Group. He wasn't able to be here today because he's at a golf tournament somewhere having fun, but he is the first person that believed in our club. He gave us more money than he agreed to initially before we even had one team. And since then, he's come on and been our title sponsor consistently without asking any questions or requiring much of anything. So the Courtright Group, support them, work with them. They're awesome. TD Bank, we're nearing the end of our time with TD Bank. So if you know a bank or own a bank, we'd like to put your logo right there too. With some money, of course. And then Santiago Strong is a local nonprofit organization that we consider family. And they do a lot of good work here. DIPG, cancer-related stuff for youth is where their focus and energy goes, and we continue to support them in very many ways, and we're going to continue to do that as well. Carolina Sports Clinic. You see those two handsome and beautiful people over there, Anna and Matthew? They work there. Anna actually she treats my daughter, right? So Carolina Sports Clinic, they do phenomenal work. When you walk in, you feel like you're actually wanted there. So if you have any issues or need anything, and when we get done, folks, please go over there and talk to these people that are here. These are our friends. These are our resources. They're here to help in many different ways. Helix is also here present, and they're a tool that we're exploring using that helps with mental health and different things of that nature. Yuri, raise your hand. Yuri is one of the folks that founded it, so we're looking at different ways that we can help our kids in many ways beyond just the game and with mental health and those types of things, so they've created a tool that can help with that. So please feel free to talk to him because this is something that might be beneficial as well. And then Flexi. I spoke to that last because that's something I've been actually working with a team of technologists to build over the past few years, and it's something that's going to allow our kids to actually get their first jobs in a flexible way, to gain experience before they show up actually applying for real jobs where no one tells them that they have no experience. And they get to make money and get paid literally the day they work. But these are things that we're putting in place to make sure that our kids are now being prepared the right way, and there are going to be many other things to come. But thank you to our sponsors. Please give them a round of applause. Next slide, please, sir. Questions? Comments? Concerns? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Regarding the training and like all those extra training opportunities, are they all extra private, like for pay, or is the club somehow also bringing in that into like regular team training?
So you get some of that in regular team training, but, sorry? Oh, sorry, say the question again. Oh. Sorry. So the question is, with the additional trainings that are offered, are they supplemental in terms of in combined with what you've already paid for as a member, or are they things that you have to pay extra for? Is that the question? Thank you. So we have some things that are included, like Coach Alvaro. Next month, he will be doing some actual trainings for all goalies within the club that are additional in terms of just things for you to come up to and not even pay for. After that, there will be elite training that he will also now begin to provide that will be for pay. So for those that want to go the extra mile, you have the opportunity to now work with him one-on-one or in group sessions, and you name it, based on your choice. With the other coaches that we have, these are all extra trainings because we provide the training aspect from practices, but there's always more that needs to be done. And there are people that are looking for more for their children, like myself, because my daughter is working with one, my son is also working with one, so it's up to you. So basically, we're just creating the options for you to have. Great question. Any other questions? Keep going.
For the girls' soccer, what's the highest age level at girls' soccer?
To repeat the question, for girls soccer, what's the oldest age that you currently have? 2011 is our oldest girls team currently. Never say never. Never ever say never. That's just what we have so far. But that's not to say that that's where it's going to stay either. One more question, keep coming. What's a futsal? Somebody else take this one.
Futsal is
David, you have your hand up? Yes, sir. Let's start with the first question first. So the first question is, what's the youngest age? The youngest age group, 4 to 8, which is our pre-academy program, which we just launched last spring. Great question. What else you got? What's the second question? I think I understand what you're asking, David. Let me rephrase. So David is asking, how are we tracking our players, or are we keeping track of our players in their trajectories, or even where they're going if they're going to different places? Is that correct? All right. I can read minds too, I think. So this is stuff that we're figuring out how to improve and make the best we can in terms of where things, because we know when players leave, they're going somewhere. Some of them are going to CSA, bigger clubs, you name it. They tell us, some don't tell us. And we don't force that out of them either, right? Because they made a choice to go find something different. But in terms of if you're with us, we know that a lot of our players are now playing in the middle school, right? We had our first real group in the middle school playing, which also transformed our entire middle school program, boys and girls side. Raise your hand if you played on a girls or a boys team in middle school here. There we go. So we have some folks here. Jace, yep, you have kids that played, right? So those are the ways in which we're making sure we're preparing them to be able to be ready to be able to fill in these opportunities, right? Or to play these opportunities, whether it's middle school, high school, and so on and so forth. In terms of how we track them, the ones that leave, do we really want to track them? I don't know yet, right? But those that are with us, we definitely want to make sure we have a pathway that we can really pinpoint their development, where they're going, and where they're even projected to go, based on what they're also putting in, because that's what's important. Does that answer your question, sir? Thank you.
As a coach, I always track my former players to make sure I talk to them, keep up with them. So it goes beyond the game.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. We're at the mercy of the county. So that's the best way I can answer that right now. Our mission and our goal is to always have it there, but then we get left with scraps based on what's available, based on their rec soccer schedule. So we always have to work with what we can get based on their rec soccer schedule. I wish I could tell you yes, though. Yes, ma'am.
With the 2011 being your oldest girls' team, are you guys going to continue to grow with them if they do well this season?
That's our mission. That's our goal.
And to have more opportunities for them to continually know?
That's our goal.
I like that.
That is our goal, and we'll do our best at that. I hope that helps. Thank you. Absolutely. Other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Can you expand on the tournament, that you are planning on?
You're excited already, aren't you? So we have plans to have our first tournament here in Lancaster County using our county fields and inviting others from all over the country to come out to Indialand and Lancaster County and play in a tournament over the course of a weekend. That's all I can say right now because we haven't been able to solidify things yet, because until we get the fields confirmed, nothing's happening. So once we get the fields confirmed, we'll definitely firm everything up and I'll be able to give you more details. But it's going to be a party, though. I'll tell you that. We're going to have fun. Thank you for the question. Who else? Yes, sir. Not yet. Here. One of them. And then maybe AJ will let us use the spot, too. So hopefully we can have a couple of locations. But here will be one of them if we can get the blessing of our fine folk in the back. What other questions can we answer for you? Did I answer your questions okay, sir? Thank you. No one else? Yes. Yes, thank you. We have a lot of different things to get involved with from a volunteer standpoint. We have the work days that we talked about. That happens primarily at the park location, the new park that we're preparing for to get open and all that stuff. There are a lot of different things that are happening there and moving there. And we ask, so if you've seen us add a volunteer opportunity to your calendars over the past month or so, typically it was going there. So that's where we're directing traffic and energy and work. So that's the park work day. We also partner with Indian Land Green to do the trash pickups here throughout Lancaster County and Indian Land, depending on the Saturday and the street that they decide on. We did that from the day we started as a club. And what else am I missing? Correct. So even with our pre-academy program, for our players, they're more than welcome to actually come out because we believe in exposure. Our players actually are even assistant coaches with our pre-academy program on purpose. Some of them is volunteer hours, others is just exposure. Some of them might potentially become trainers, coaches, you name it. But these are the ways that we can get them exposed at an earlier rate and also give them hours from a volunteer standpoint so that they're always getting something in value. Thank you for that. That was a good one. What else? Yes, sir. I'm sorry, say it again? The futsal will be additional, yes, sir. It'll be supplemental, it'll be additional for you to have an option if that's something you want to get involved with. Yes, it'll have its own cost, yes, sir. Anyone else? How are you all feeling? You ready to get out of here? I got one last favor to ask you before you go, though. One last favor. All I'm asking is that you meet each other before you leave. Say hello, shake a hand, give a hug even. I'm a hugger, so I might hug you. Just a warning, right? But please go over there first. We have community members who are choosing to be here on a Sunday evening with resources that could be beneficial to you and your families. And they're also supporting us in different ways. So please just go over there, say hello to them, and ask them some questions. And they'll tell you all about the great things that they have to offer you and your families. That's all I got. Thank you. You don't have them? Okay. I didn't know if we had people with questions online.